I'm Turk Strongman at Theron Q Ramacharaka. Thank you for selecting this video on killer whales, orca whales, attacking their trainers, killing their trainers. Before I get started, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, take a moment right now to do it, please. Activate the notification bell feature while you're at it, and share the joy of the channel with others, and give this video a thumb up. With those things having been said, first of all, I want to apologize to my subscribers and regular viewers. I have not posted a video for some time. I am in the middle of narrating about 5 books, and I just kind of like phased out a couple of months ago. But I'm still here, and let's get on with the killer whale thing. I was just looking through my YouTube video queue list, and I noticed that a lot of the same old stuff is popping up. It pops up when about this time of year, every year. This time it's the year 2024. So, yes, this is the year, 2024, when everything's going to get weird. This is the year when America is going to crash, going to fall, going to collapse. This is the year when our president is going to get impeached. This is the year when a big discovery at CERN, Super Hadron Collider, I think that's what it's called, over in Switzerland. A terrifying discovery means that we're all going to die now. This is the year when black holes are opening up and we're about dead. This is the year when alien disclosure, UFO disclosure, full disclosure is at hand. This is the year, oh man, it goes on. All right. But I did notice something a little different in the world of alarms. Killer whales. There seems to be a rapid increase in incidences of killer whales, orca whales, attacking their trainers at places like SeaWorld and other water parks around the world. And this is what I want to address. In about 1990 or 91, I worked at SeaWorld in San Diego. I was an electronics technician. One of my primary functions was to get there at about, 6 o'clock in the morning and go around the entire park, go through the entire park to where all the shows are of any kind, and test all the electronic equipment. Make sure all the microphones for the trainers are functioning properly, all the sound equipment, the lighting equipment. I was alone, nobody else was in the park. There were 2 other electronics technicians, and they would be back in the shop, the electronics shop, repairing stuff. So I was alone in the park. When I got to the whale show, the Shamu Stadium, I would spend a lot of time behind the stage. The tech booth was, as usual, where there are stadiums, up in the rear above the audience, opposite the stage. I would go behind the stage and talk to all the whales that were being held in captivity. I felt terrible for them. Their enclosures were not much bigger than the whales. And Shamu would have been let out all night into the big tank where the show happens. Surrounding the tank, if you're familiar with any of these things, you'll know what I mean. It's maybe a 10-foot high, 6-inch thick acrylic, or what's that other? Acrylic, I guess. It's a clear. It's not glass. It's supposedly tougher than glass. I guess acrylic or something like that. 6 inches thick, about 10 feet high. And then, of course, the water goes down much deeper than that. But I spent most of my... I didn't last long at the job because I didn't give one iota about the electronics there. I liked communicating with the animals. Now, there's more than one Shamu, if you don't realize that by now. Shamu is supposedly like a juvenile age killer whale. You know, the baby. But every time Shamu is no longer, you know, grows up, there's another Shamu. One Shamu after another. Okay. Oh, by the way, did you know that SeaWorld at least claims to own entire whale populations in the wild around the world? Some major populations of orcas. SeaWorld will say, you know, you can't touch those. Those are ours. And use them for breeding and what have you. It's a nasty industry. All right. Shamu would be out there in the tank. I would spend at least 20 minutes every morning not up in the control booth. I would have checked everything, but then before moving on, I would go down to the ground level, you know, between the first row of seats and the tank. Shamu would always slowly come over to me. And she would come up sideways to the tank. If this is the tank wall, here would come Shamu, and then she would slowly get right here. And she would put her eye right up next to the plexiglass or acrylic, right at my eye level. And I would put my forehead right up against the plexiglass. Or I could look into Shamu's eye. Her eye was about this big. All right. Or a little bigger. So I was 6 inches away. And I found it very easy to establish a telepathic link with this whale. I did it every morning. Shamu would be motionless, remain motionless the whole time, not moving at all. Very peaceful. And Shamu had an unfathomably deep mind that seemed endless. Shamu's consciousness seemed endless and somehow linked with all other killer whales, at least. I would tell Shamu that she is beautiful and that I love her and that I'm sorry that there are some people who do what they do with orcas and with her. I told her that she's born into captivity. She already knew all this. Other whales have communicated it to her. But I was telling her, myself, a human being, I said, these are people who do not really care about your existence, about your welfare. They keep you alive here for profit, for their profit. I said, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry for how they're all treated. And I said, but please remember that not all people are like that. I said, I'm not like that. She could tell. guess you knew that. I said, the only way that I can think of for all of you to someday get out of this situation, this circumstance of captivity, is for killer whales, wherever they are held in captivity, to turn against their trainers. I said, I want you to send a message around the world. All the things that I've just told you, I did this every day. Shamu understood. I said, you guys, in order to free yourselves, you're going to have to do something. And you're going to have to start doing it all at the same time, wherever you guys are held in captivity. I'm sorry to say this, but that's what I want you to think about. I wonder if my interactions with Shamu contributed to what's going on now. Well, I'll never know. But I'll tell you this. If I were to find out that, yes, my interactions with Shamu back in 90 or 91 did have something to do with this, then how would I feel about that? I feel about it the same way right now I would as I did when I was interacting with Shamu on those mornings. No different. I have no idea how those trainers can live with themselves being the captors of those whales and having those interactions that they do with those whales. I was awestruck by Shamu upon first contact up that close, with a mind link going on, eye to eye, 6 inches away. My compassion for her was overwhelming. I have no idea how these people can have the close interactions they do with these animals, with these mammals, and live with themselves. I have no clue. I have no clue. But I think that the orcas are doing what they need to do. If you like the video, give it a thumb up. I'm Turk Strawman at the Rank Be well.